Hey everyone, it's Nikolai here. Whether you're a subscriber or a new viewer, if you look at my backlog of videos, you will notice a big difference in my appearance. And yeah, it sort of relates to the gap in between uploads and why I'm making this video. I used to make videos a long while ago, over a year ago, and my process back then would be I would make individual frames of my character, like you see here, and I would edit it on the timeline. I would just throw them in and try to match the expression or whatever I was saying, and sometimes I would have to redraw my character a lot, so that's why I kind of kept the design simple. I didn't like this version. The colors were a bit too faded and stuff, so I ended up making a more updated version, which you might see in a couple videos previously, which was this one, which I made the colors a little more saturated and a bit more closer to like how I would make a drawing than the previous one, where I was just trying to go for like a sketchy style. These were fine, but after a while, they were just kind of a pain to edit, and I didn't really have my heart in it, just because appearance-wise, it wasn't doing it for me. So, enter the hiatus. I was using this character as my avatar on any of my art accounts, and it was fine, but I was getting tired of looking at it. So one day I decided to redraw it and, I don't know, spice it up, make it kind of cool. At least, to me, because I felt like I was kind of stuck in a box, at least for designing the character, because I made it so simple so I can redraw it multiple times. Because of that, I didn't like it, like I said, so I decided to give it another go, and I wanted to make it a little more stylized. I ended up making this thing, which I still use on my accounts, and I replaced the eye patch for a spooky eye. One of the main reasons was my original character had an eye patch, and it was kind of difficult to draw emotions and angles with that eye patch in the way. So I thought if I had a spooky eye, it would kind of alleviate that problem. Which, in the long run, it sort of did, as you can see now. The spooky eye carried on, and it works. It moves and everything, and it blinks, which is great. So I made that sketch, and I was going to go through the process of making more animations to use in my videos of the character speaking and stuff. And since I was going to go through all that effort, I thought, I wonder how hard it is to make a Vtuber model. Surely it can't be that hard, right? So I do what almost anybody would do, is I would go on Google and I would go on YouTube and look up tutorials. And lo and behold, there are many tutorials out there. And when I was looking, I found a trial software for Live 2D, where if you draw your character correctly in the certain way it wants, you can animate it and make it into a VTuber, which is great for me. So I got started on my journey by making a sketch based off of that profile picture, which left me with this one. Now, if you look at a lot of my art, I really enjoy the color purple, and I decided why not incorporate it into this sketch. I wasn't too much a fan of the face there, but I did like the jacket. I wanted to make it a little more interesting than just a flat color. So there's the plaid from the first drawing. It looked cool. I thought it looked cool. So this was my first draft, and I decided to go ahead with that. And I ended up making this version with all the layers and everything. I kind of made it a little simple, just so that way when I went into Live 2D, I wouldn't have too many things to worry about. So the hair was very simple. It was like 4 pieces altogether. And I don't know if anybody knows, like usually with Live 2D, you kind of have to separate every part of the model, so that way when you animate it, it'll have its own physics or move a certain way and it'll look more realistic. Which, when you go from drawing just an illustration to having to separate every piece of a character, it's kind of a difficult transition. I kind of struggled with that a lot, especially with shading, because I didn't know what parts I could shade properly without it looking bad. So it took about a week for me to make this guy come to life, and he came to life. He works, he moved, and at that point I felt like I just gave birth to life, and it was the greatest feeling ever, because it's like, oh my god, I made one of my drawings move, and it's moving in different angles even though I didn't draw it in that angle. It was kind of a bizarre feeling, to be honest. But it was a good feeling. So I felt like I was on the right track, and since I had only spent a week, I decided, you know what? Since I have this time, I might as well use the software as much as I could. So I decided to make version 2.0, which you happen to see here. But first, I'm going to show off my very first model attempt. So one moment while I get changed. So here I am. So this was version 1.0, and I was pretty happy with him. He moved, he blinked. I didn't add blinking to the spooky eye to save time. I thought, oh, I only need to do one because the other one doesn't need a blink. Perfect. Although when I did give it a test run at certain angles, it would just kind of look awkward because one eye would be closed and the other one would be open, which kind of made me run into the same problem of expression that I had with the very first design I had of my character. But I thought I was in the right track. You know, I learned a bit from my mistakes, like shading. I added shading on the face, which you can sort of see on the chin right there, but when I move my hair, it looks like a cut. Also, the nose was kind of awkward in terms of how it transitioned, which, you know, I was happy, but since I had the time, I figured I might as well try a different version. Also, the mouth was kind of awkward. As you can see, I shaded the jaw and the rest of the mouth, so you can sort of see like I have a tan a bit, but you can see the edges of the mouth, which yeah, it didn't look too great. I did add a pencil in the hair, which that was a pain to figure out on my own at first. And also, I don't know if anyone else can sort of see, but on the shoulders, I tried my best to match it up, but it's a very clear seam there, and no matter which way I move, it doesn't look the best. So for round 2, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do textures. I am going to attempt a different nose, and I'm going to try and work the spooky eye into working eye that blinks and still looks good. So those were my goals I set out for. Oh, and also just to kind of make it a little cleaner, I don't know if you can sort of see like some of the edges, you know. Also too on the pants, like there's a bit of a clear cut because of the shading. So from doing this, I definitely learned like what I should try and avoid and do different on the next one. And I decided to be a bit more ambitious. And so after another week of working, actually a little longer because it took a bit longer to draw. So after about a week, I was left with this. It's a bit more fine tuned than the first version, that's for sure. I tried to make sure to limit my shading in a way on the face so it doesn't look like too awkward. The nose, I made it more symmetrical, so no matter what angle you're looking at it, it looks nice. The hair, I separated in more pieces instead of just the simple 4-piece I did on the first version, and the spooky eye blinks, and I added an extra one on my forehead because I thought, you know what, since I am going to go all out for this, I might as well do a design I'm not too comfortable with, or at least like adding a little extra bells and whistles, which normally I try to keep my designs a little reserved, but this one I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it. And this is what I came up with. I added some tassels on my jacket, and there's a little bit of physics on the jacket right there, which is pretty cool, and some nice shoes. Nothing really to see here, just some shoes, some pants. There's not really any textures really overlaying on the pants that you can clearly see from the first version, which yeah, I'm glad I avoided that. Overall, it was just a lot better in terms of my first attempt to my second, and I was pretty happy with this, so I decided, you know what, this one's going to be the main model I use. If you or anyone else is thinking about making a model, it's definitely possible. If you can draw, I think you just kind of have to change your mindset a bit on how everything is supposed to look in layers, and also just follow a bunch of YouTube tutorials, because that's what I did. I'll put links in the bottom of the main tutorials I used to make my model that helped me a lot. Yeah, going forward from now on, if I make any more videos, I will be sure to use this version of me. Oh, but also, when I finished this, I had about 1 week left of my software. This is the other thing I made. Hey! I made a chibi version of me. I thought it would be pretty simple to make. It took about the same amount of time as the previous versions, but yeah, I thought it would just be something kind of fun to make. So maybe in other videos I'll use this guy too. But so that's what I was able to make on my free trial of Live 2D. Who knows, maybe I will purchase the software later on to make version 3.0 with a different outfit, or maybe even just updated designs. That would be pretty fun. We'll have to wait and see. If anyone else is planning on making a model, I'd say it's possible. You need, you know, the software to draw the character, but it isn't impossible. Especially rigging it. That's entirely possible. Just follow tutorials, and it'll get you where you need to go, and your character will move in the end. So, so Halloween is coming soon, so I'm thinking next month I'm probably gonna upload some videos relating to Halloween things. I recently picked up a copy of the Nightmare Before Christmas video game on PlayStation 2. I kind of want to give my first impressions after not playing it since I was a child. Little teaser right there. I guess everyone have a good day. Bye everyone!